Welcome to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam.
So next up, we're still going to talk about privacy, fancy that, but a little bit of a different type of privacy in terms of a VPN. So very excited for this. We've got Harry up here who's going to get himself sorted out on the laptop. You should just be able to plug it in and you're good to go. Fingers crossed. So after this, we're then going to have a talk from Oasis, I believe, and then we're going to have one other talk, and then it's going to be lunchtime, which we're very excited for. I hope it's going to be outside again like it was yesterday in the sun. Yes, I heard a yes, I heard a shout. Thank you very much. I did not this morning think of my mental notes of what to do to twiddle my thumbs in this situation. Last year, we had a bunch of different random activities. After this as well, I'm also going to share a little bit more information on this, but as a little bit of a tease, for those that weren't here yesterday, there's actually a private key in there, and it contains a bunch of NFTs and crypto as an art piece. So we're going to, and the goal is not for it to be stolen and broken. Yeah, well, you can pass some of them out, but apparently for the upcoming talk, there's a little thing where you can get a month for free. Don't we like that? Actually, I'm not very happy with my VPN at the moment, so I'm going to have to do something about that.
This is about as good as we're going to get, unfortunately. So anyways, we're just going to start. So everyone, get your free subscription. We're going to walk through kind of what Nym has been doing over the last 2 years. So I'm the founder. You probably maybe have run into me before, but basically I did a Ph.D. in artificial intelligence, University of Edinburgh, and I think the main thing I realized from that is that when people think of privacy, they tend to think of cryptography. But actually, the most valuable information is kind of who is talking to who, what you call the metadata. And often that's unencrypted, and even if it is encrypted, these sort of patterns of communication between people reveal your social network. They reveal what you're doing, what websites you're going to, when your transactions are being sent on a blockchain, who's in your signal group, and there is literally no working solution currently today for this problem. And it affects even Tor. Right, so you can kind of look at what's coming in a Tor entry node, look at what's coming in a Tor exit node, and then you can effectively de-anonymize the Tor connection. And it's trivial for VPNs. Tor is much better than VPNs, and also works against anything with a large server, which is most apps. So what we built, and this is the first working decentralized one at Nym for the last 5 years or so, is what we call a noise-generating Mixnet. So how this defeats metadata attacks, similar to Tor, there's multiple hops, but also when you send traffic, like internet packets, to a hop, so again, this is the level of TCP/IP or UDP packets, generic for the whole internet, we delay the packets randomly, and they mix together, so they don't come in, first out. And then we basically, that mixing process defeats, particularly when you add cover traffic, fake traffic, it kind of defeats the ability of algorithms, like AI algorithms to be honest, to statistically de-anonymize your traffic. Now we decided we weren't going to build a system, but because most people, including almost all of Ethereum, does not have any kind of privacy-enhanced transactions working, we build a few other components on top of the system. So we said we want people to be able to authenticate to the system to, for example, prove they paid or prove they're a user of some particular service. So we built an anonymous credential, which kind of in zero knowledge can prove that you've paid for the system or an authenticated user without revealing anything else. And then the second thing we had to add to the traditional Mixnet is we had to figure out how can we get all of these different people to run nodes. And for that, there was a token called the Nym token, which also gives you a discount on the VPN. And these basically, when you are effectively using the Nym Mixnet reveals nothing about you, but you need to know which kind of nodes connect to ship your traffic through. We have a kind of way to test those nodes to see if they're dropping traffic. You can look at the decentralized reliability measurements from Mixnets, is the paper. And effectively, if you ship more traffic and you mix correctly through the system, your reputation goes up, your amount of Nym tokens goes up, and if you drop traffic, your reputation goes down. You don't get new Nym tokens, and you can do delegated staking and all of that. So if you're interested in running a Nym node, talk to me or look at the docs. It's permissionless. Anyone can kind of spin one up. And so this is the network in practice. You can see, it's pretty visual. VPNs are big centralized data honeypots, including all the ones people think are private. Maybe they're very nice people, but you're effectively just trusting them. You can't verify anything. It's not decentralized. Tor is decentralized, which is why it's superior. And the fast mode of the DVPN is equivalent to Tor. But you can still see, you can kind of figure out these timing patterns of packets, while the Mixnet has the strongest privacy available today. So what we've built, now the problem is, 2 years ago we came here and we said, hey, does anyone want to build on top of Nym? We built a libp2p binding with chainsafe. We got it working on Lighthouse. But maybe that was just too early. We haven't seen too much development, and we still have all these APIs. I'll go back and visit them in a second. But what we decided is we really want to get people to actually use the application. And in order to get people to use the application, we effectively built a user-friendly app on top of it called Nym VPN. And we have these kind of different features, which I'll go through in a second. But effectively, you have two modes, one of which is fast and one which is slower, which is the Mixnet or anonymous mode. We have things that standards VPNs have, like kill switches. You can pay for it, but again, we use zero-knowledge proofs to basically prevent the linkability of the payments. And it works in about 10 languages, with more coming. So that's the real things that we do different than any other VPN. So again, we have an anonymous mode, which is slower, but works perfectly well for Telegram and Signal. And that effectively, you just click an anonymous mode button, and that puts you in that mode. We also have a fast mode. So let's say you want to stream a video. And our fast mode is pretty fast. It's about as fast as Brave's VPN, and it's faster than Tor. And that gets you, kind of whatever you want. We use a little bit of censorship resistance, obfuscation, noise on that, so it works in countries like Russia. And then most importantly, when you pay, no matter what you pay in, we'll go through that in a second, we don't connect the payment to your usage. So every other VPN, it's completely crazy what people do with VPNs. Like, I want to send all of my traffic through someone else's computer, and I give them my credit card information or my crypto information, which you can usually figure out who you are from Chainalysis, and then they just hold it. So they can actually connect my address and name attached to the credit card to everything you do on the internet as long as you use that VPN. I actually would argue that is possibly more insecure and more privacy invasive than like not using a VPN. It's completely crazy. So we have to fix that paradigm, and I really believe that the delinking of the payments from the usage, even though it makes the user experience harder, is absolutely vital, and we're not going to compromise on that. So again, we built the VPN. It works on most platforms. I would say a little bit buggy on Windows right now. If we have any Windows coders in the house, please talk to me. But it works perfectly well on Google and Microsoft and F-Droid. And if you go to nym.com, you can look at your flyer and scan that QR code. You'll go through this process. Because some of you have free passes, you don't have to do this. But if you want to pay, we'd appreciate it. And we'd like to look at, you can test the user flow. So we have different plans. You get discounts for a year or 2 years. You choose your plan. And then this is the really key user experience difference. Your account is, again, just your private key. That's it, right? Nothing else. So we don't have a username for you. We don't even have an email for you. Maybe at some point we should make that optional. But you have a key. So you have to kind of cut and paste that key after you make the purchase. Then you have to select your payment type. And as you might notice, Nym tokens and cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, Monero, USDT, which is our currently most popular cryptocurrency, they all give you a 50% discount. So even though you can say, oh, the VPN looks a bit expensive, it's like, I don't know, you can say it's $10 a month or $11, it's like basically $5 if you pay cryptocurrency. And if you buy like a 2-year subscription, it's like $2, which is essentially the cheapest on the market. But then once you select your payment type, this is kind of cool. You type your credit, let's say you're a normie, you type your credit card number in, and what we actually do on the back end is that credit card purchase is converted into an API call that is a buy order of the token currently on Bitfinex. And so, it kind of builds buy order pressure. You can also, of course, pay with Nym token directly, which is easier for us, a little bit harder for you, possibly. And then when you get the app, and hopefully you're trying it out here, you can first it's disconnected. It's going to ask you to put in, this is kind of the user experience difficulty here. You have to put in your private key to log in. Then when you're logged in, you can go select which mode, you can select what node you want to use. So you can see we kind of rank them. Actually, Netherlands has a lot of awesome hackers in it. We have 16 people running nodes in the Netherlands, and they all seem to have pretty good quality. So big shout out to Hermes Stakepool and Oceanus and whoever else is here in the Netherlands. So you can choose the exact computers used to both enter and exit the system. Because again, unlike a centralized VPN, we're a decentralized network, you need to choose a different entry point and a different exit point. So no single computer knows where you're coming from and where you're going. And our latency on downloads are pretty good. We've been comparing to Brave's VPN. It's about the same. So a little bit worse, actually faster in North America for some reason. And so the VPN really works well. So we do want you to try it, and I'm going to be here for the rest of the afternoon. So if you have any usability issues, I'm sure you do because we just launched this like a month or two ago. Do talk to me because we're kind of making a list, and we understand that the flows still have a lot of bugs. We're working them all out, and each app is a little bit different. But what I want to talk about is a little bit update about things. I want to finalize with things we did 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, we said, hey, why doesn't Ethereum use Mixnets? Wouldn't that be awesome? And we showed you how to do it, and we produced some code with ChainSafe. And then just recently, Ethereum community has noticed. So this is the Make Ethereum Cypherpunk again, kind of Manifesto, which then Vitalik retweeted, had a more lightweight version. And it's really awesome because we're seeing stuff that we've been talking about for 5 years, like network level anonymity, being mentioned now finally in the Ethereum community. Now we brought this up with the Ethereum Foundation like 4 years ago and were ignored and whatever, but it's okay. We're still up for combined. We're happy to put Nym on any wallet, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, we don't care. But you can get, again, we're seeing that we're being mentioned as a possible wallet integration point. Now, we're too busy to integrate against wallets. There's too many of them. But we would love it if someone in the hackathon would do that. It's pretty easy. We build a JavaScript SDK, TypeScript to be technical, Rust, and we have bindings for C and Go. So probably no matter what your wallet is in, you can call the Mixnet. And that would be wonderful. And that the more traffic you get through the Mixnet, the more anonymous everyone is. So it'd be great if all these people using the VPN, if their traffic mixed with, for example, high-value cryptocurrency transactions. And then I just want to do a quick final announcement. If you, right now, when you get Nym VPN, you get the world's most private and secure VPN. That's pretty cool. Doesn't connect your identity or your credit card address to your usage, but, okay, the user experience needs some work. It doesn't maybe have quite the speed that we want it to. So we're also going to start offering new features that are specialized for crypto traders. For example, a free private RPC relay to be included with every Nym VPN subscription. So that will probably be launched in a month or two. So keep your eyes open for that. And then also, if you have a really cool hacking idea, this is me and CZ last month, people kind of forget with Nym, even though we're weirdly not listed on Binance, that we are friends with CZ. And we're going to be participating over the summer in a San Francisco incubator by Easy Labs, which is the kind of investment arm formerly known as Binance Labs. So if you have a cool idea to build on new privacy-enhanced tech, you need some money. I forget how much it is, but it's somewhere like $250 or K or so. And you don't mind Trump trying to kidnap you as you cross into the US, and you can kind of hopefully get out. They will be doing, don't worry, next year it's going to be back in Europe. But we'll be doing a incubator. Vitalik would be there, I'll be there, CZ will be there. So he can go back in the US, which is pretty cool. And we would really enjoy if people applied to that incubator. We don't have enough applications yet, and we really want privacy and security to be a focus of the incubator. So that's it. I don't know if I have time for questions, but you can easily grab me. That's our website. You can download the VPN, and happy hacking. Give it a shot. Thanks so much.
Woo, thanks. Don't move, don't move.
Okay.
If you could unplug your laptop, we're going to get the next person up, and we can put on the Slido. Thanks so much for that. Really cool stuff and a very noble cause, and the execution seems to be coming together, so congratulations on that. If you do have any questions about this, please jump them on the Slido. There's currently one. So the one question that's here right now is, do the nodes get incentivized, and what would you say is the risk for a node hoster to provide into?
Yeah, so nodes are incentivized. You basically get Nym tokens for running nodes. Now, of course, we all know if you have a node and someone's doing something dodgy with it, you may get a letter. So far, we've only got DMCA letters. We recommend that you respond to those. We provide legal assistance and a kind of template letter to respond to basically say, look, I'm running a Nym VPN node. I don't know what's going on. It's just like running a Tor relay. If you're uncomfortable with that level of risk, you can get less token effectively by running a middle node, a mixed node, or an entry node. And so while they make quite a bit less, again, you don't have risk because traffic isn't exiting your node. You can also, with Nym, build service providers like custom apps, which essentially live inside the Nym network. You kind of think of them a little bit like a hidden service, and there's no kind of risk with those apps.
Cool. Nice on providing the template.
Okay, yeah, of course. I mean, we're learning from Tor. We work with EFF. We work with numerous law firms, and we have a large community. So if no one has gotten in serious trouble yet, of course, it's only a matter of time. But we have a lot of lawyers and a lot of backup to make sure everyone's safe. And so far, Tor's been running for 20 years. To be honest, only very minor problems, except one or two cases, I think, in Germany. We recommend not hosting a node in Germany because Germany basically pushes copyright laws really badly. We do recommend hosting a node. I don't think we have any problems in the Netherlands. You kind of got to choose a good jurisdiction for your node. And are there any other questions?
There's lots.
Oh, I can't even see them. Okay. Why is the choice to receive a seed and not connect on wallet? We are working on connect on wallet. But again, when you get this the seed phrase, you're getting an address you're getting an address essentially on Nym's blockchain. So we store the network topology and a lot of the rewarding smart contracts on our own low-fee, currently Cosmos, we're happy to change, blockchain. And so that's what you're getting. Is it possible to integrate VPN with hardware wallets? Yes. What's it called? One of the hardware wallets approached us, and we do work on Ledger, because Ledger works with any Cosmos token, and we will be working with SafePal. Does it work behind the Great Firewall with advanced DPI techniques? Sort of. The anonymous mode does work, okay, because it's anonymous. However, the non-anonymous mode doesn't. We're working on fixing that. Give us till the summer to be fast in China. Would it like to work at public Wi-Fi routers built? Yes. We have had multiple people. Hans Brix comes to mind, Rawbox in Ukraine, building Nym into routers. We're waiting for one of them to get it working and commercialize it. We think that will be hopefully soon. Yes, fast mode WireGuard endpoints are hosted in the same network. You can run an entry node and a mixed node on the same box, and it's the same network. You can also choose not to run things for various, you want to kind of control your risk. Can't connect to the mixed node on my phone. Does it work well with mobile connections? Well, try the fast mode. It's slow, right? So you may be connected and not know it yet. See if it works on Telegram or Signal. And cool stuff. I agree. So anyways, thanks for your attention. Thanks for all the great questions. And do not use normal VPNs. If you believe in decentralization, it is fucking hypocritical to then pay some centralized guy, give him your credit card number, who's just going to give it to the police. We have the technology to build decentralized, privacy-preserving tech. We should fucking use it. People just use mainstream garbage constantly. Please give it a shot. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I put it there. I didn't touch it. Close it.